Peter to pay Paul. I had a guy here. I sent him home. I said, "You got to come back tonight." I stayed out late. We had a blast. Let me tell you. So in the long run, we can't sustain this for a long, not even a short period.
In the 2 weeks, just in my mind, I guess, to make sure that we can afford the finances of both, which I think we can with all these officers leaving at once, but just to make sure we can.
Okay, let me add this.
Sure, go ahead.
Let me add this too. The other candidate, the new candidate we're looking at also, has not passed everything yet.
But this is, all right, fine, this is simple, because this is going insane. I make a motion that we hire both officers this year, at some point this year, under the contingency that they both pass all the requirements of the civil service standards.
I want to put a stipulation, we hire the gentleman from Nori though, immediately.
No.
Why? That makes no sense.
Who said why?
He hasn't
Me,
been-
because Joel just said that it would be a liability to hire him
No,
over the other one.
If we don't hire both.
Wait, Deb, I don't want you to misunderstand, okay? Let me take it, please. Deb, what I said was, if we hire them both, we're fine. If we hire only the gentleman from Nori and not the new candidate, then there's liability, okay? If we
But why
hire them both,
the
we're
push for
fine.
this other guy so bad? Why the push?
Well, Deb, didn't you just say earlier, Deb, you want more officers on the street? Now we're trying to get more on the street.
Right now this officer's working
I sit here
35
with
hours
you.
a
I can
week.
address you.
He said he didn't know he could make it work as it is. He was his work.
And okay, so Officer Vognitz is hired full-time automatically before he passes all the civil service standards. Now, we don't have that part-time officer working, so it really does not change anything with our schedule.
But if someone calls off, we can call him in.
What would happen if he was hired and he doesn't pass?
All right.
It's no different. It's no different. Listen, you guys have to understand. The other candidate that we're talking about, he has passed a few tests, provisional tests.
Right.
Okay? He still has some few things to do yet.
I'm talking about both.
But Volga's the same way. Volga started, he didn't pass the one part of the physical agility, and we're going to move on from there, and we'll go to the next test. Even if the new candidate does, they can hire both tonight. If Volga doesn't pass the civil service exam when it's taken, then they make their decision what they have to do. If the other candidate, same way. If he comes back and doesn't pass something for the rest of the examination process that he has to do, they can do what they have to do, and then he's not hired.
So he has to have the understanding that if he does not pass all the criteria.
They both know that. They both know that.
Okay,
Julie, there's a 1-year probation,
okay.
so there's a lot of time frame.
I was just going to say, what I'm understanding is what you just explained with respect to that both officers would have to pass the requirements that are there, correct? So we as a city currently know that we have 2 vacancies. One that is burn has already taken place, and we know that Mazio is imminent. So I'm just not sure, I guess what I'm missing on this whole thing is why don't we just choose to bring on both officers at the meeting tonight? We know we have definitely 2 vacancies. So from that point, the financial aspect is out.
The one candidate we have now, Officer Volgas, is currently working, has all his numbers that he needs to have to work, not testing process, but numbers. The other candidate still has to finish the school. He's not done yet. Then he has to take a state mandated MOPEC test, which is the standard for the police category. He still has to pass that. Once he passes that, then he's issued a number. Okay? Because I think they've tried it before. They've tried to get people to come in and send them to school. It didn't work out the last time. But so there's a lot of variables here. And the council has every decision to say, you didn't pass your stuff, we gotta let you go.
Exactly. So at this point, why can't, if we don't take action on this gentleman, are we not going to lose him maybe to Northumberland in the event that you bring this other gentleman over? And right now, I think from what I'm understanding from the discussion is that we're going to gain, if we're not counting overtime, we may be gaining 5 to 9 hours a week on the streets.
It's just that it's guaranteed that he's gonna be here.
But it's guaranteed that he'll be there. But additionally, we've got another person in our pocket then who's committed to the city who will be coming on board if we make that motion. And it also eliminates our legal liability, correct?
Pretty potentially. Potentially. I wasn't done answering Nathan's question actually, and I'd like to do that because everybody's kind of ignoring a great big white elephant in the room. We don't have enough cops. And we all know that. Nobody's ignoring that. I have witnessed, and I think everybody on this council, including the mayor and everybody else, has witnessed the fact that we have some very, dedicated and hardworking officers right now, okay? They're putting in a whole lot of overtime, they're doing a whole lot of things by themselves that they probably shouldn't be doing. Quite honestly, what I'm more afraid of than getting sued by some kid who's just out of the academy or by Bognets or by anybody else is one of our officers gets shot when he's on a domestic and we only have one guy covering it and we should have two. Okay, when they don't have backup, when we don't have people to cover the streets and there's a home invasion and some poor child or somebody gets hurt and we don't have the manpower to cover it. What I'm saying is there's a lot of liability there that everybody is ignoring, and we can't ignore that. I think that I have to be careful when I say what I think, because I'm not an elected member of this council, and I will not give my personal opinions. However, my legal opinion is, I kind of think everybody's right. I think we should hire Bognets. I think we should hire this kid. I think we need bodies on the street, and I think that's what probably everybody thinks. They're just talking apples and oranges. My legal opinion is, liability-wise, we got to get boots on the street. It's only fair to these guys, and it's only fair to our residents. And that's a legal opinion, not a personal.
And you're talking full-time,
I'm talking full-time.
correct?
I am.
I'm actually talking to the mayor. But
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking to me.
That's okay.
I apologize.
You're
Yes,
talking full-time for both officers.
Full-time for
correct?
both.
Okay.
I think something else that needs to be understood here, just like we went through last year. We hired 2 police officers last year, and after we hired them, they turned around and went to work somewhere else. Because we have no guarantees that once we hire them, they're going to stay here. Okay, so, I mean, whether it's Bognets or the gentleman coming out of the academy, we hired 2 officers last year, set start dates for them, and they turned around and went to work somewhere else anyway. So there is no guarantee on that.
Sir, if I may, I understand there's no guarantee, I think the rest of us do here as well. But is that slight guarantee better than having nobody in our pocket at all? Because right now, from what I understand, we're not getting any applicants into the
We don't have
city.
no guarantee that this gentleman, once he comes out of the academy, is going to come here anyway.
No, I
We can say you're
understand.
hired, but that doesn't mean he's still going to come.
But if we talk to him up front and we make the motion to bring both officers on, I think we have a better chance
I
to
agree,
do that.
but we did that before too. And that's what
Doesn't mean
happened.
it can't work out this time for us. It's better than not having anything at all for him. At least he has a commitment to come in.
Mr. Mayor.
We hire both of them with the same starting date, full-time.
I don't think you can hire the other candidate the same thing as Mr. Arrow because he's not certified.
Okay, and
Because
Officer
not
Bognets
certi-
didn't
I-
pass any of the civil service for the full-time.
But Officer Bognets is a certified police officer in the state of Pennsylvania. This other kid is not, and so it's a discussion probably behind closed doors. But I wouldn't recommend,
And there's different standards to hire part-time than full-time.
yeah, I would recommend that if you're gonna hire both with the other candidate as soon as he finishes up his qualification stuff. He'll be probably ready with the other stuff prior to Bognets because we haven't set the testing yet. So I would, and we could do seniority wise, we could make this other kid seniority wise before him, we can hire him. But I think that, I don't know if you want to do that with him not having certification.
Can I make a motion? I'm not gonna make a motion. Sorry. But I do have a suggestion legally, okay? And I think I'm gonna incorporate what you're saying and what Jim's saying, okay? What if you make a motion that you hire both of them on different contingencies? The contingencies for Vognet would be that he passes all necessary civil service, all necessary required civil service exams. He won't be hired permanently until that happens, but he could be placed on the regular schedule immediately, okay? Because he's a certified cop. So what I'm saying is he wouldn't be formally hired until he passes everything. But we can place him on the full-time schedule because he knows that if he passes everything, he will be hired, okay? The same thing for this new gentleman. As soon as he can start when he's officially approved by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to be a cop. But he's not officially hired until he's passed all the requirements.
I want to make sure that the council, if we're doing something like this, I want to make sure that the council doesn't keep pushing back the new candidate until November, December of this year, or even next year.
Well, that's impossible, because what I'm saying is, as part of this motion, that's the whole motion. As soon as he's ready, he comes through.
So the only thing I guess I have with that is can Nori at that point, if he's not hired by us full-time, can he go work for Nori Moore?
He can still do that if we hire him.
Yeah, but if he's our employee full-time, then we can say, okay, you're coming in for overtime, you're doing these things.
Right.
You know what I mean? If he's not technically, I'm fine with this, this sounds good, as long as then Nori can't.
Well, we can't control what he does in Nora. We can't control it.
But if he was a full-time employee, but then we.
Brad, let me talk just 1 minute. Pennsylvania is an at-will employment state. He can leave anytime he wants, no matter if we can't contract him, there's no indentured servitude, obviously. So he can come or go as he pleases. He can't be hired full-time by the city until he passes those exams. He can't be, okay? He has to pass them. What we can do though is hire him conditionally based on passing those exams. The same as the new guy.
It's a conditional full-time.
That's what I'm saying, yeah, so we're hiring him, we're just saying it's based upon him being able to, but we can put him on the regular schedule so that Brad can have an extra boot on the ground right now, and we have another guy to put on the schedule to alleviate those problems.
Both of them under the contingency.
They have
Full-time, as soon as.
What I would say is what Joel just said is my motion.
Joel, then there's no benefits in anybody to full-time.
I'm sorry?
There's
No benefits, no benefits, we can't pay them benefits until they pass the
Not
requisite.
full-time.
Right.
And the 1-year probation period doesn't start until it becomes full-time.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if, you see, we're gonna have to discuss that maybe later on, because there's issues with bringing somebody on full-time with benefits. You have to pay him benefits.
Yeah, but we're not bringing him on full-time. We're telling him he's conditionally hired, and we're asking him to make himself available for the, we're asking him to make himself available for full-time slot. But he's not hired until he passes the exams, and then he'll be conditioned, then he'll be
But
probated.
the reason we don't work him more than 72 hours a pay period is once you get to that 73-hour threshold, you have to pay him benefits.
And you have to pay
You have to pay him benefits. That's why we
Under,
stop.
under your current FOP or whatever.
No, that's
under the law.
Healthcare.
State law.
Correct.
There's a time period.
Joel,
It's not
aren't you,
that day.
aren't you trying to hire this guy under emergency hiring? Basically, that's what you're trying to do.
Well, yes and no. Yes and no, Spank, because the simple fact is that it is an emergency. There's no question about that. That's a whole different process.
Right.
That we'd have an emergency meeting and there's a advertisement, and there's all kinds of stuff that involves that we're not doing right now. This is a conditional hiring.
Right.
And-
But you can do the conditional hiring, I would think. You can do the conditional hiring, as Brad said. You can bring them on full-time, along with benefits, with the understanding that if you don't pass your civil service requirements by a certain date, then you're
Well, and I think that's where we're going. I agree with you.
So I would put a date on there. I would say that he has to pass this within a certain amount of time. And then, as far as the other guy goes, just, you can't, you've already made the ruling that legally you couldn't hire Volnuts and not hire this other guy. You've already said that earlier in the meeting. Everybody heard that. So the other guy's gonna get hired when he passes all his tests and gets certified.
Right, and that's
Then you're gonna do official action at that time. Right now, you need people in the street. Just make a motion to hire Volnuts and move on.
Well, I think it's easier than that, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a suggestion legally for a motion. And what that legal suggestion is that we conditionally hire both candidates, Vognetz and the kid from the school, but,
And just so you're all aware, he's not like 18, 19.
No.
He's like, I think, mid to late 20s.
I'm old for my age, so he's a kid to me. But we would conditionally hire both of them. Both to start at their earliest opportunity on a full-time schedule, okay? Neither would be fully hired and begin their 1-year probationary period until such time as they pass all required testing. On top of that, all legally required benefits will be provided as deemed necessary under the law, okay? If there is a requirement under civil service or whatever for 73 hours, again, I don't know everything, that's not something I'm aware of. I don't even know close to everything, that's my wife. But the point is that we will comply with any all legal requirements, but we can put Vognetz on an immediate full-time schedule. He just won't be hired and begin his one-year probation until he passes the necessary test.
Same with the new guy.
Same with the new guy. Yeah, both of them.
Okay, well, then I make that into a motion.
Kramer. Reichner.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Heister. Karlovic.
Yes.
Mayor, can I say one more thing real quick? I know it's been long. The only thing I ask the public is to please be very patient with us right now. We are human. We make mistakes. We try not to, but bear with us right now. Our guys are sick. Okay? That's all I ask.
So let's, I don't recall having a response to her question. Has Mazio been asked to stay?
I have no idea. That's not on me.
Mayor, you talked to him.
Mayor can talk.
No, he already did. Did you talk to him the other evening?
Well, you're really good buddies with him from your statement on the paper. Did you talk to him?
I didn't know about it because you didn't tell nobody. I read it in the Daily Item.
All right, Chestnut St Phase 3, public meeting is scheduled in these council chambers on Thursday, July 26th at 6 p.m. Music in the Park with Kenny Jenkins tomorrow, July 24th is canceled and rescheduled for August 3rd from 7 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. And before I adjourn this meeting, I'm going to ask the council here in front of everybody, are we going to stop nitpicking and running to the media and trying to push out one another and begin to actually work as a team for the best interest of the city?
As long as we all do that.
Yeah, as long as, I'm glad you say that, but if we come with something, we can't be so put off to where it's.
We all need to stop being negative with one another.
But we can't just all do everything that one person wants.
No, that doesn't happen.
So if we can come to someone with a negative thing, and we're not immediately put off, I'm 100% for that. I'm good with that.
But let me just put a caveat there, that little heavy thing back there speaks volumes.
The next city council meeting is August 13th
I know
at
plenty.
2018, 6:15 p.m. in this room. And last but least, is there any audience comment?
Really? No.
Yes,
All right, this meeting's adjourned. Thanks.
Brad.